This is Luke McCormack here. You're watching Sporting Icons.
So are Probellum looking to take over the world of boxing? You would have to say yes. And they seem to have very, very deep pockets. In fact, they came out of nowhere and I started getting newsletters from them. And I was like, who's this Probellum? I've never signed up. But yeah, I seem to be getting like a lot of newsletters on email and that from them. So, of course, I take a bit of an interest in them to see who they are. And Richard Shaeffer, of course, is the head of Probellum. And since then, they've taken on, say, Sam Jones. They've just recently taken Lou Dibella in as well. Phil Jeffries, of course, is a very good pal of mine. They've got, I'm going to say Lee Eaton. I'm going to say that because I've been to a couple of shows recently. Lee Eaton has been there with Probellum fighters. Okay, there's a link with MTK. Let's address the elephant in the room. You have to be blind or ignorant not to see that there's a serious connection between MTK and Probellum, as a lot of MTK fighters are shifting over to Probellum. So clearly there's a link somewhere. I wouldn't like to know why or guess why. I have no idea. Okay, I don't follow the kind of politics of boxing. I don't care about that kind of stuff. Of course, you hear things like a pop-up about Daniel Kinahan and whatever else. Again, you know, I've been asked before, why don't I reach out to like my pal Phil Jeffries and try and arrange a interview with Daniel Kinahan? I mean, reason is because I ain't going to be watching this Panorama thing. Again, I never watched it. All I know is something about Barry McGuigan was on it or whatever. I never watched it, so I don't know the details, and I don't read up about it. It's not really my bag. So what am I going to talk to him about? So, Daniel, are you a gangster? Yes or no? Well, I mean, whether he is or whether he isn't, he's going to say no, isn't he? Okay, cool. Let's talk boxing. Because that's all I'm really interested in. Some people will have, obviously, far more deeper interest in it than what I do, especially in Ireland. But is Daniel Kinahan involved in Probellum? Again, you would probably have to say yes, because obviously Phil Jeffries, he put out a picture of him and Daniel Kinahan in Dubai. So is Sam Jones. There's clearly a connection. What that connection is, I don't know. Is it just a branch of MTK? Are MTK about to be go out and disappear and Probellum just take over? I don't know. That's the brutal, honest truth. If I knew anything, would I say it? No, probably not. I mean, it depends what it is, I suppose. But genuinely, I don't know what the exact connection is. But there's certainly one there. But I like what I've seen of Probellum. The show that I was at in Newcastle, I mean, they gave me unlimited access. More than anybody else really does, really. Boxer have done, of course, before. MTK used to as well. But Probellum, you know, they gave me more access than even IFL and that were getting, with the fighters and, of course, doing the interviews and here, there and everywhere. And quality people, absolutely quality people who are running that show. Of course, they're running alongside with Phil Jeffries. But the people there at Probellum who are orchestrating for when the fighters should be entering the ring and arranging with the interviews and all this kind of stuff, so professional. And these people are so focused on what it is that they're doing as well. But again, under the strictest of rules with security and all that kind of stuff. So I can only give them massive, massive props. But they are creating a lot of waves already. And that's good. And the fact that they want to be taken over, especially Northeast boxing, and there's a very real chance they could do it. The only real competition for them at the minute for Northeast is Boxer, Ben Shalom's Boxer. Again, they've got a very growing stable of Northeast fighters, but the Northeast does seem to be the hub for Boxer and Probellum to try and take over. And with Probellum, of course, they've got Phil Jeffries. When you've got Phil Jeffries, well, you've got links to literally everybody in the Northeast. They recognise that. So I fully support Probellum. I like what it is that they're doing. I don't know Richard Shaeffer. I've never spoken to him. But again, when it comes to Lou Dibella, that's a real thumb in the eye for Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn has said for quite some time that he wants to control and lock down women's boxing. Of course, he's got a lot of talent with women. He does. Lou Dibella equally has a lot of talent when it comes to women's boxers. Of course, Amanda Serrano was originally with him. Then she left. Lou Dibella now is with Jake Paul. Now, of course, they've got that Katie Taylor fight. But Lou Dibella has a lot of the fighters, a lot of them. And I did a video probably about 2 years ago saying how DAZN should really be giving Lou Dibella some dates so he can put on his own shows, because he manages a lot of fighters at the time. Like Regis Progress, is he still there? I don't know. Of course, he's currently with George Kambosos Jr. and with all the women fighters and the many other fighters that he's got. In addition to the fact, look at his history. I mean, he's been involved in boxing in, was it over 30 years. He's a Hall of Famer. Look at his time with HBO, with the PBC and Showtime. And so he knows everybody. Listen, he's very, very opinionated. And he ain't going to hold back. But boxing fans like that. Whether you agree with somebody's opinion or not, you always, and especially boxing fans, we respect people for at least giving their opinion as long as we feel that they genuinely believe it. And he does. So you have to give massive props to Probellum for securing Lou Dibella. As I said, I think DAZN dropped the ball with that one. They should have done that when they had the opportunity, especially trying to crack America. Who better to have on your team than Lou Dibella? Don't just be using him to steal the odd fighter here and there. Get Lou Dibella under contract. Well, they didn't do it. Probellum have now. Again, Probellum, they've got Ben Davison training a lot of their fighters, such as, Josh Taylor, he's still MTK at the minute. But the McCormack twins, you've got Mark Dickinson. Listen, the list goes on. Ben Davison has a very, very healthy, full gym of great prospects. He really does. And they're Probellum. I think Ben Davison is still managed by MTK. Will that change? Will that then switch over to Probellum at some point? Maybe. Ultimately, it's not that important, I suppose. But the important thing is, what are Probellum doing in boxing? Well, look at the outside fighters that they've got. Nonito Donaire, Badu Jack, again, big names in boxing. And it's going on and on and on. Don't get me wrong, they're announcing quite a few new signings of Ukrainian fighters that I've never heard of. Is it Sarenko or something like that? Was that his name? Some heavyweight. I've forgotten. But they're signing up a lot of people. And I think a lot of it's going under the radar. So when they actually get everything together and say, right, okay, now we're going to attack everything, that's when you're really going to see what kind of damage that they can do in the boxing world. Damage in a good way. Because obviously, with them putting on shows, it's good for you and I as boxing fans and spectators. I think they are going to cause big rifts in boxing. They really are. As I said, I don't know what's happening with MTK. Are they forming with Probellum? For what reasons? Again, I don't know. I don't really care. But Probellum already with very, very deep pockets as well. Again, when I've done the interview with Luke McCormack, he's saying that one of the reasons why him and Pat signed with Probellum instead of the other ones is because they were offering the most amount of money. Of course, there's always ambition and where it is that you're going. Of course, Probellum, they have free sports for the UK broadcaster. Again, every household in the UK has free sports. Everybody who has a digital service is all free for you. And of course, they've got ESPN over there in America as well. So, and this is only year one. In fact, not even a year in. They're doing fantastic, and that's great. Could they be the promotional outfit for the world? Could well be. And again, I'm not saying this because I know anybody at Probellum, because I don't. Other than like a Phil Jeffries, he's the only person I know. And again, I mean, I don't speak with him about business and that, too much. So anyway, I just want to get that out there, because I know that for some people saying, Probellum, who's Probellum? What are they doing? Well, they've just signed up with Sonny Edwards. They've got Lewis Ritson. They've got, listen, so many people. So many people. They're going to cause some damage in the world of boxing. They really are. Watch this space. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you on the next video.